Did you hear about this fucking jogger in South Carolina?
Oh, jogger.
We do this unlucky lottery or sucks to be you
Yeah.
bit, and we're not really sure because we think it's the same thing now. Unlucky lottery and sucks to be you.
I still know there's a difference. I just can't quite describe it.
Well, this guy, I don't know if we have it audio or I gotta do some of that reading today. Oh man, I hate when I have to do some of that reading. Man on South Carolina beach killed by plane making emergency landing.
Unlucky lottery.
What the fuck? First of all, the jogger can't figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a little like Cessna or
Must have
something.
snuck up behind him with no engine or something.
And what about the fucking pilot? You can't avoid the one guy in the beach?
I'm landing this bitch. I found my glide slope. You're a dead man, motherfucker.
But it's not like it's Jones Beach in July. It was Hilton Head. There weren't a lot of people on the beach.
There's no.
How can you can't avoid the one guy?
Here it is. I can only assume this. The beach isn't that wide. You know, beaches aren't. If you're lined up with a dead engine,
You got a buzzer?
you cannot fucking.
I saw the video.
What?
Is there a video of it?
Oh, no. I saw a video of the beach, I should say. Because they had and a picture in the paper. You could see for yourself. The
You're
plane
just landing
on the sand. It was pretty wide.
You just got to go straight. You can't be turning though to avoid a guy. Hit the water. Fuck that.
So who's at fault here? Dead guy or fucking pilot guy?
I think it's just a tragedy.
Of course it's a tragedy.
And
but,
the pilot walked away?
yeah. Everyone on the plane walked away, and they well, here's the
A
story.
dead guy broke his fall.
All right, don't need that. A simple jog ended in a bizarre tragedy on Monday when a small plane made an emergency landing and struck a man exercising on the sandy South Carolina shoreline.
That is unlucky lottery, by the way. Because the odds of a plane crashing into you
As you're jogging on the
is
beach.
very slim.
3-4 to 1.
Something like that.
Robert Gary Jones, a father of two from Georgia, was killed instantly as he ran along the beach. The 38-year-old was listening. Oh, here we go. Like he didn't hear it coming. 38-year-old was listening to his iPod and did not hear the approaching plane.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm sure the plane guy was beeping his horn and
Yeah, beeping his horn.
the jogger didn't hear it.
Auga! Auga!
Apparently he did not see nor hear the plane. So wow, the plane was basically gliding. The single engine, more than an hour before a report having trouble, blah, blah, blah. They were heading to Virginia. Who cares? All this info. Things went wrong around 13,000 feet in when oil leaked from the plane and splashed over the windshield. Whoa.
Oops.
Smith then reported that the propeller had fallen off. What the fuck?
What kind of mechanic did
You ever
this
hear
guy
of
have?
maintenance?
What kind of mechanic did this guy have?
What the fuck?
My propeller fell off.
Is that bad, Ant?
I would say that's bad
But-
if your propeller falls off.
He made for the beach near the Palmetto Dunes, I guess, and what he hoped would be a safe landing. Well, it was safe for them. Wow, you got a
if
plane
you see a
with
strip of beach and you go to land on it, I'm assuming that there's no room at that point, especially right when you're ready to touch down, to start correcting to miss obstacles. You are lined up. You're going straight.
a lone guy though.
Hey, better one guy than fucking, coming in and cartwheeling.
What are the odds?
The guy planted it pretty firmly straight down on the belly.
The guy sat there and said, I'm going to have another cup of coffee before I do my morning jog. He'd be alive.
That's why it's unlucky
the
lottery.
odds of that shit are ridiculous.
I finally figured out. Unlucky lottery is shit that just doesn't happen to people. And it happened to you. And the odds of it happening are like the odds of winning the lottery. But instead of winning the lottery, you had that horrible thing happen to you. Sucks to be you is things that have happened to people throughout the years that suck. You fall into a hopper with a giant auger at work, and it chews you up. Yeah. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened.
Right.
It's happened enough times where, if you work in a dangerous environment like that,
Right.
It'll happen. So those are the big differences. You finish a prayer meeting, and you're driving home, and a big branch falls off a tree and smashes into your window.
Well,
that just happened. Yeah, by the way.
You just read my mind because that's where I was going.
Unlucky lottery.
We had these horrendous storms, and I'm listening to 1010 Winds, one of the news stations here in New York. They're all the same to me. Actually, it might have been 880, whatever. And they said a couple leaving church.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really. Right after you're praying to your God.
What kind of hate does this God have?
And you must have said something wrong in your prayers. It pissed him off a little.
The numbers are
passive
down.
Aggressive.
The numbers are down as far as church goes. So God's going to take out 2 people doing the right thing and going to church on Sunday, and then they're going home or whatever. And a trade decides it needs to kill those 2 people.
Now, you know why that's unlucky lottery? That little seedling that was growing there at some point could have been stepped on by somebody just walking by. Anything could have happened to it. But that tree grew huge over the years. And right when they were passing under it, a branch that had been there for who knows what history that branch has seen.
Probably 100 years, right?
Yeah.
Safe to say 100.
Decided that was the time I'm going to let loose and fall. Perfect timing.
Right.
To just crack these motherfuckers in the head.
Unbelievable.
That's unlucky lottery.
This is good. We're getting more info on the plane. Bill in South Carolina. Now, Bill.
Bill.
Did you see this on the local news down there?
Yes, I did.
I need to know one thing. Were there a lot of people on the beach? I'm assuming no.
They said that there was a couple that the plane made it over. They both dove for the ground, and then the landing gear hit the guy in the back of the head.
Ow.
Jesus.
It was a homemade airplane. He built it 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's good.
That's why the propeller fell off.
Fell off?
Propeller fell off. Would you ever build your own plane?
Was it Eric Nagel's grandfather? The propeller fell off. You can't. All those kit planes. All those kit planes seem to be disastrous.
Guys, what's the use for the propellers? Crazy glue.
No, not crazy glue, Chip. You know, you got fucking people that build those experimental planes, or kit planes and things like that. Mm-hmm. That's what happens. John Denver, same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Would you build your own plane?
No, you buy a nice one.
I had to build some shit recently. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to follow the directions that come in the airplane box.
IKEA shelves are a pain in the ass.
Right.
You're gonna fucking be putting a variable pitch propeller on your fucking plane.
And here's
watch it spin off like a little propeller on your hat.
And here's something for these companies. How about you hire an artist to give you the diagrams properly?
Oh, just the little horrid drawings.
Because a lot of the people can't draw it properly.
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, does it go this way? Is it upside down? Well, let me look at the diagram. You can't figure it out on the diagram.
Thank God, I have not gotten a put-together thing in many, many years.
Don't have a kid then, man. There's a lot of stuff to
a lot of put-together stuff.
Holy shit, I learned that lesson quickly. I have to put all this together. The kid's not even born yet.
Do you have your basic tool set? Do you have a little battery drill so you don't have to sit there with a screwdriver? You got little wrenches and things like that?
The father-in-law made sure I had all the tools.
Oh, did he?
He's a Philly guy,
you know. Yeah.
Hard-working Philly guy.
You got to have all that.
He was mortified to find out that I didn't have one tool in my house.
There's nothing
so
worse
now I
than
got a lot of tools.
Turning a fucking screwdriver when you know you could have that screw in there in 2 seconds with a drill. Anyone who doesn't have a fucking drill with a little, little case with all the little bits in it for those Phillips head and regular head and some sockets, you're an asshole.
I was losing my mind putting something together, a cradle actually, and I actually yelled out.
What did you yell?
I'm not supposed to be doing this type of stuff. Oh, man.
I'm supposed to hire people to do this.
And then I suggested Kenny, and then that wasn't good. I'm like, Kenny can do all this. I don't know how to do this.
Kenny wouldn't know how to do it.
But I was more frustrated at the stupid diagram. The fucking diagram is never easy.
It's some kind of IQ test of 3 dimensions.
Well, then they have all the parts, and they have arrows and this and that. And it's like,
the exploded view, they call it.
What is it called?
Exploded view.
Right.
And then you're supposed to be able to look at it and know how it goes together and each screw. And
I understand.
You do all the separating first.
But they can't even draw the parts correctly. So you're looking at, okay, I know I have to find that part, but I don't have that part because I don't know what that part is. You didn't draw it right. Am I saying draw it wrong?
They ought to draw it to scale.
Right.
Like the actual size.
Well, how about a picture?
So you could put it up to it. Yeah, a picture would be nice.
How about a little picture that comes with it?
Well, that costs
that would be
too
a lot.
much for them.
Well, that would be
cuts down on their profit margin.
That would be a lot easier. And some guys, like, if you were the pilot, you would avoid the jogger. I'm just thinking, I guess what Ann's saying, it was just meant to happen.
Once you're set
in
up,
that unlucky lottery world.
If you try to pull up, we probably would have just stalled it out, crashed. If you try to turn, he would have lost it and cartwheeled. At that point, you got to probably look. If you hit him with the landing gear, he probably thought, maybe I'll clear this guy.
All the guy had to do was fucking
duck, motherfucker,
but
duck.
he was too busy listening to his stupid. What song you think?
I hope it was Dave Matthews.
Why Dave? You don't like Dave?
How can you?
How can you?
Well, Dave Matthews does have a song called Yes. Okay, Dave.
Yeah.
Crash
You're
Into
on the
Me.
same page,
Yeah,
right?
crash into me.
So you picked a good band there, Jimmy. Let's say hi to Paul in Colorado. Paul.
Hey there, Paul.
Hey, guys, I got an unlucky lottery. This dude's driving up this canyon 55 miles an hour with his wife when a 1 foot by 1 foot rock decides to dislodge from this cliff, totally random, goes through the dude's roof, kills his wife. Dude is just driving, no problems.
Well, after it happened, no problems, that's for sure.
Did
And that rock probably just sat there for a million years. I love the boulders that I picture dinosaurs looking at
sure.
some point.
Sure.
These boulders that have been in one spot for millennia, and then they just decide, I'm going to tumble down right now when a station wagon full of nuns is driving by and just wipe them all out.
Yeah. People have a problem with my theory. If Fontaine writes, you think somebody's glad that the guy's dead? I don't know. But I'm just telling you, there are times people die and it gets other people out of horrific fucking situations.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to acknowledge that, then be the goody two-shoes that you are.
Sometimes.
Every horrendous tragedy, there are people dying in there that people are like, holy shit, did you hear what happened to asshole?
That just avoided me a lot of money or avoided me
whatever
a problem. Yeah, it's just something.
Could have been a kid toucher. Could have been some guy going through a horrendous divorce that he didn't deserve. Something.
Yeah, there you go.
Something.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the in-law story? Speaking of things falling.
Ooh, what happened?
I give my in-laws, this is a couple years ago, I couldn't go, so I had tickets to see the Flyers and Islanders in Philly. I couldn't go, so I sent the tickets down. And the in-laws, they're like, hey, date night, right on. We're going to check out the big fucking hockey game. And they're driving, and all they remember is hearing a loud crash. A tire. To this day, they don't know where the tire came from. A huge truck tire. I never told this story on the air.
Wow.
Fucking crashed down on the hood of their car, on the
roof?
The roof of the car, splitting the car pretty much in half.
Holy shit.
And both in-laws.
Was it a plane landing gear?
They don't know to this day where the fucking tire came from. It came from an overpass. So what? A truck loses that tire at that
maybe
at that very second, goes flying over the side and hits them right in the middle of the roof. Could have easily killed both of them or one of them.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden they're fucking swerving off the road because now they're like, what the fuck? And there's a perfect tire print on what was left of the roof.
You're just a little slower in your trip. If you would have tapped the brakes, it would have been through your front windshield. You know? Shit like that. Yeah, that fucks you up.
You ever get the kids on the overpass throwing shit at you? Happens in Florida a lot for some reason. They're so bored down there that the kids, the Utes, they'll have their fucking soda fucking bottles or whatever, and they throw them over the top when you're driving through.
Be able to run faster than Mr. 40 caliber.
Nah,
They'll fucking take that shit.
I don't know how you find those guys after they throw that shit. Because you're already going 60, 70 miles an hour by the time you find an exit and fucking turn around. Where the fuck?
Turn around. Where are they? Look, they're still there.
Are they really?
I've crept up on snowball thrower kids before. Flanked them. Came up from behind them.
Really? Where?
Scared the piss out of them. It was in Elwood somewhere years ago. Me and my brother.
How old were you?
20s.
Oh, okay.
And they were like kids. They were kids, like fucking like 7, 8, 9.
You beat them up
that.
like me and my brother got beat up?
No, we scared the living fuck out of them, though. Like, we crept up, and they were still laying down, like prone position, looking for the next victim, driving down the road. And we were just like, what the fuck are you motherfuckers? the faces, they did that wow where they froze and their eyes got real big, and then we just were throwing snowballs at them. They ran away. They were petrified.
See,
fucking great.
The only
I
reason
lived in Elwood.
The only reason because it's the memory, but we got beat up by a grown man. See, you stopped short of beating the shit out of him. We got the shit kicked out of us, and then had to go in our house, and we were too scared to tell our parents. We were fucked.
They'd be mad.
We were fucked up though. No
How
marks
old
on
were
our.
you?
I want to say no more than 12. If I was 12, then my brother was 11, and then Elmo was 10. So we were all around
beat
that
the
age.
shit out of fucking kids.
Dude, we got the shit beat out of us. 2 or 3 of. I'm not sure. It was at least 2, maybe 3 of us. We had the perfect spot, a little 20-foot.
Guess it wasn't all that perfect.
A 20-foot high hill on the back of the driveway facing 25A.
Yeah.
So, and you could see the cars coming. So it was perfect timing, man. And we were hitting cars, laughing our asses off. And we don't even know where the guy came from. He was obviously one that we hit. Yeah. I don't know where he parked because it's a real busy road. And
you'll get ambition to park way far away, walk. You're stalking your prey.
I don't know how, but he did flank around, like you said. We see this strange guy. We think we're getting murdered. We don't realize it has something to do with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then he just beat the shit out of us. Right in our own backyard.
Took on all 3 of years, huh?
See, I mean, it goes back so far. I don't remember how many. There was definitely at least 2 of us that he took on no problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was usually me, Scott, and Brother Elmo always hanging together.
Were you like, stop?
Oh, yeah. All that.
We didn't do
all
it.
That. Crying like bitches.
Oh, that's great.
Just crying. And then we realized we can't go in and because we already were scolded about the snowball thing because that was our thing we did every fucking snowstorm. Got the shit beat out of us. Grown man.
Why didn't you just do what me and my brother did when we set that fire? You blame it on black people. That's what you're doing.
Jesus.
When I was in kindergarten. What a little racist.
Let's go.
I was the littlest racist.
Oh, sweetie.
Should make a movie. The littlest racist.
With L''IL.
Yeah.
Your dad was
so it's cute.
Your dad was proud though, Aunt. You made him happy.
Yeah. Well, the whole family. It was a different time, Opie. It was a different time where you'd walk into your relative's house and the N-bomb was just being thrown around like the word was. It's like the.
And Anthony wanted to be like the big adults because they were all like, he would cry so much. And then one day he went, nigger. And they went, ew!
Oh, my God.
He's such a big boy!
I think the first
Was that
time,
your first word, Ed?
I think the first time I used
word?
it. Yeah, that was the first word I said. The first time I ever used that word, I think everybody in the family just started laughing and thought it was really funny and everything. So, I haven't stopped since. Well, what are you going to do?
Been trying to make people laugh ever since, right, Ant?
Yes.
Let's say hi to Stryker. Stryker.
Hey, morning, boys. Hey, I got 2 things for you. Kind of going along with that guy a few minutes ago about that woman that got killed here in Colorado with the rock. About 8 years ago, there was a semi. A rock slide came down. The woman driver never even saw it coming. A rock slide came down and wiped out the entire semi, crushed the cab flat. The only reason anybody even fully understood what happened was the truck that was behind her watched it happen and said she never even knew what hit her.
Wow.
The other thing is, my wife and I just bought a brand new Miele dishwasher. It's a real high-end German dishwasher. I went to install it. The instructions are all in German, and there's only 2 pictures of it.
Is there a little area in the thing for gold teeth?
The only picture, the one picture is of the packing slip as to what parts are supposed to be in there, and the other picture is what the finished product is supposed to look like. There's no breakdown as to how it's supposed to go together.
Wow. That's tough.
What should have been a 3-hour install took me 12 hours.
It just pisses you off because you spend all this money with the company and their diagrams and their instructions are just so fucking lame. You can figure out some of it, but then you realize, oh, fuck, I was supposed to put that part in before I did step 4, 5, and 6. Now you have to undo step 4, 5, and 6 to do
to put
all
the
that
other
shit.
piece in. Yeah.
I was out of my mind, man.
That's a tough one.
Thank you, Stryker. Always a pleasure. Or not.
Stryker.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to talk about this a little bit. Ellis in Philly. Ellis.
Hey, up by
Is this the
Mills,
Ellis?
the Ellis.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Up by Franklin Mills, One night, some dude tossed a...
Hey,
shopping cart
Speckensy
off the
talk. I do it every time, Ellis. Come on.
Ellis.
overpass. Man. I love it, man. Yeah, some dude tossed the shopping cart off the overpass by Franklin Mills, went right through a windshield of a tractor trailer. It was awful.
Yeah, why are they doing this?
I don't know, man.
Please
It's just
don't
kids
do
up
that.
in the Northeast.
Every time you see the kids like waving as you're going, under an overpass, you're just wondering, are you gonna fucking throw
Here it
something?
comes.
What's gonna happen?
Here it
I
comes.
look for one every time, man.
Yeah.
Have a good show, guys.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Mark in South Carolina. Mark.
Good morning, boys.
Hey, buddy.
Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Hi, fella.
Hey, I was calling. Actually, I'm a firefighter here in South Carolina, and I've seen some amazing bad luck. But one of my favorite, we had a woman actually was driving, wrecked, went over an overpass, wrecked, but she had injuries to the side of her head, was not consistent with a head-on collision that she had. Well, we're doing the reconstruction, and we're looking, and then suddenly we see flying over the bridge wood debris, and it's like, what the hell is that? Somebody had a drum grinder where they make mulch. They were grinding beside the bridge. Well, debris was shooting over the bridge. She had her window cracked maybe a quarter of an inch, and a piece of wood went inside, hit her on the side of the head, knocked her out, made her have a head-on collision.
And
Brilliant.
Is that unlucky lottery? What are the fucking odds of that one?
Odds pretty slim.
She just, if her window was up just a quarter of an inch more, nothing would have happened.
Jesus, unbelievable.
What the hell is
Yeah.
somebody like fucking running a chipper on a bridge?
What's that?
Oh, no, chip.
no.
That's okay.
Tom
Chip.
on Long Island. Tom.
What's up,
What's he
guys?
talking about?
Hey, Tom.
Back in high school, my buddy used to live behind a tire dealership. So one of the things we used to do was 12 o'clock at night, and it was a little bit of an incline. So we used to try to time as the cars would go by to roll these tires out in front of the cars until, of course, a cop came. We all scattered, but
What is wrong
could
with
have killed
people?
somebody.
I always kind of thought about consequences. Whenever I wanted to do something, I threw a snowball at a car and shit like that, or an egg on Halloween. But to roll a tire out, that's like The Bad Son. Is that the movie? The Bad Son with fucking Macaulay Culkin shooting the bolt gun through fucking windows?
I agree
Bad
with you.
Son. No, The Good Son. It was called The Good Son.
Are we in agreement that snowball's okay, but tires not? Or snowball's bad, too?
Snowball's bad, too. That could fuck,
Because
you just don't know what's going to happen.
Because I threw them as a kid, but if someone hits me with a snowball while I'm driving, I'm going to be flank guy. I'm going to find that fucker. Take out some anger from my ute.
Because it would shock you. There is a distinct sound of a snowball hitting your door. That thud, that boom sound, it kind of it shocks you at first, and then you just get pissed. Who the fuck threw that? You want to punch him in the face?
But rolling tires, dude. You
that's a little
ever get
much.
arrested?
Maybe not. It's one of those things. When the cops came, we all scattered and they couldn't find us. But just since then, they corralled the tires. They put them in a cage after that. So
Here in Long Island, we had some woman get fucked up from a frozen turkey.
Yeah.
They took fucking kids threw a frozen turkey off an overpass, and it went right through a windshield and smack right into her face.
She survived, right? But
it's
not a good life.
Yeah, but she had like turkey wings on her head or something.
That was some. I think she took it home and cooked it, Chip.
Hey, she probably said, what is it? Raining turkeys?
Can't rain turkeys. Yeah.
If that happened to me, I'd probably look up in the sky going, hey, where's the stuffing? Maybe some fixins.
I had a seagull in my work van once. It hit right at the corner of my windshield.
Fuck.
And made such a thud, loud fucking noise. I had to be doing about 70. It was way out east on the expressway, the fuck out east.
They always say it's almost impossible to hit a bird, though.
Whoa,
you
let
hear
me
that
tell
your
ya.
whole life.
I was in a van with Ziggy, actually.
Yeah.
And we were driving in Manhattan, crossing town, and some, like 4 or 5 pigeons had been flying across the street. And the last one that was, kind of tagging behind a little bit as we're getting close to it. Because, like, whoever hits the bird, like, sometimes it gets close and you're like,
Yeah, you can never hit it.
And I'm like, man, I really think we're going to hit this bird. And then sure enough, it was just, damn. I had to get out and, like, make sure it wasn't, like, stuck to the grill. We totally hit the bird. It was awesome.
This thing left a, like, powder on my windshield about 5 times the size of the bird. Like, every bit of dust that was in his feathers just got knocked the fuck right out of him and ended up on the windshield. No blood or anything. The thing was dead. Flew right over the top.
I don't think birds have
of
a
the
lot
van.
of blood. They don't seem to have a lot of
No,
blood.
not a lot of blood in them, I guess.
They seem like they're really dehydrated.
Yeah, little skinny bones.
Look at
and
their
stuff.
stupid beak. How much water you think you can drink?
Yeah, they got to be light.
Hydrated.
They fly.
I hit a bird one time.
Actually,
Did ya?
and Kenny hit a bird. I just remembered, and the damn thing
With his fist.
You can drink.
Yeah, they got to be light.
Hydrated.
They fly.
I hit a bird one time.
Actually,
Did ya?
and Kenny hit a bird. I just remembered, and the damn thing.
With his fist.
Yeah, I'm looking at him in a bar.
Thought it was a black person.
It was a crow.
I almost saw Kenny show some emotion when we hit a pigeon on the way home, and
Really?
this thing fucking exploded. He could tell the story. I don't know if he's here
Fucking
right
came
now,
apart.
but he almost like
How the
showed some
pigeon
emotion.
laughs.
Kenny, remember the pigeon?
What happened? What happened, Kenny?
It landed on him. Just thought he was a statue. 3 hours later, he addressed it.